Hey, mountain climbers, welcome back to the Celeste Any Tournament here on twitch.tv/speedrun. We have a race for you tonight between Maya Undefined and Flesh177, two pretty high-level runners of this game. My name is Artie Walsh-V. I will be your narrator through these proceedings. So just a little bit of background on both of these runners. Maya Undefined is coming into this race with a PB of 32:32. And Maya is also a pretty top-tier runner at various other categories. I believe she's one of 4 people with an all red berries PB of sub 1 hour. She's second place in 100%, third place in all hearts, third place in all chapters, and there's a amount of difference between those two that's probably not worth getting into in the any percent run, but it's still there regardless. Meanwhile, Flesh, it looks like they just run the any percent category, which we're going to be seeing today. Their PB is 36 minutes 15 seconds, so a little bit off of Maya's time, but I still think that they're going to be able to give us a very close race today. All right, so neither runner is going to be opting in for a pre or post race interview. But Maya did say in chat that entering in these file names makes her really wish that there were full keyboard support for this particular. And these file names are just sort of a precautionary measure just to make sure that runners aren't trying to submit any pre-recorded runs. Obviously, we kind of trust all our runners, but it's nice to have that extra security measure there. Yeah, and then a little bit of background on Celeste. This tournament has been going on this channel here for about, I think, a week and a half so far, and it's been a really fun tournament. If you've never played this game before, this was an indie precision platformer that was released in January of this year, and the speedrun scene around it has been hugely active. Like at one point, it was the most active game on speedrun.com, and it's just, and like if you've ever run this game, you can kind of tell why it attracts so many people. It's just like a really gorgeous game. The run feels very fluid. Like it's a game where you kind of want to speedrun it as you play it, as is kind of the case for a lot of platformers. A couple stumbles, but this should be a really solid awake for Flesh. Right, meanwhile, Maya getting started on chapter 3 here. Here's a nice little bit of text. So when you go through a screen transition, you keep your momentum and you refresh your dash. So Maya was able to like continue moving upwards and then get another dash to kind of skip the intended path to that. Yeah, but now we're in the real thick of Celestial Resort. Resort is definitely a very daunting level. Very nice save from Maya there. Yeah, accidentally misinput their dash, it looked like, but was able to use that dash crystal to kind of get through that screen. But yeah, whereas the first couple levels were all about like freedom of movement and getting you acquainted with the controls, now this game is putting your abilities controls to the test. It's all about like tight, fast movement through these cycles of dust bunnies. Yeah, we're also seeing Flesh doing pretty well in the early goings here. Yeah, Celestial Resort does not start off. There's no kid glove in Celestial Resort. Like it just gives you all that it has like on the very first screen, and then it somehow gets harder from there because now we're going to be coming up on the huge mess section where we have to be cleaning up this giant mess that Maya is currently navigating. This huge mess maze is also another part like the awake section where again nothing that can actually kill you. So you just got to be keeping speed and just navigating this mess really nicely, like Maya just did. Yeah, really good movement on that screen, and now they're in the thick of the section where it's kind of all about platforming that gets increasingly tight as some of these platforms will disappear as we clean up the mess. Yeah, Maya coming up on the first spike jump, and that gets it very nicely as Flesh. Yeah, very nice movement through the huge mess maze. This is definitely a section of the game where that you kind of want to practice if you're a new runner, just like especially this section, because you'd be surprised how much time you can lose just to inefficient movement in that screen. Flesh taking a minor death. Ooh. All right, and now Flesh is on the what we call the death cycle. So when you enter a screen versus when you die in a screen, you're given two different ways for the dust bunnies to move. So runners will often have to memorize a couple different strats for each room. One for when they enter the room where they have momentum and the cycle starting like on a specific point, and one for when they die in a room where they don't get the momentum and it's starting from a different point. So, but Flesh recovers nicely, pretty mistake-free after free play after that, as Maya on the last section of the huge mess maze, about one section ahead of Flesh at this point, section and a half now. Yeah, Maya with a nice cycle skip, getting out of that room in style. And even uses the corner boots to walk up the stairs. That's always a nice little swag trick to see. Yeah, Maya also kind of abusing the same cutscene exploit that we saw in Chapter 2, where she's doing an extended hyper dash into the cutscene so that once she skips the cutscene, she can just like dash up into the next screen just a little bit faster, just a tiny little optimization. Yeah, very nice movement for that long room in this elevator shaft section here, as Flesh having a little bit of trouble in the last section of the huge mess maze, but getting through it pretty decently. And Maya, okay, so Maya's going to be go for what we call demo. Oh, first try. Very nice work. So demo dash is a pixel perfect, frame perfect trick that she just did, where it's kind of like a movement exploit again, where hitboxes in this game aren't necessarily boxes. They're just kind of like a collection of circles, and Madeline, when she's crouch dashing, is the same height as those gaps between the circles. So Maya just executed a real quick crouch dash and then just changed that into a regular dash, and that allowed her to save 10 seconds, which is a very difficult trick to get. A skip, there is a setup for that makes it somewhat consistent, but again, still very difficult to get. So kudos to her. She's also making really good time through this Oshiro chase sequence too. Yeah, Oshiro coming from the left side of the screen and just locking into our vertical position and charting at us, but again, no real issues for Maya in this section as Flesh, taking a minor little death in the elevator shaft section, but yeah, recovers nicely, gets the screen on the second try. Maya here on the last Oshiro screen, which is the bane of some runners' existence. Yeah, taking it a little bit careful just to make sure that she doesn't run into Oshiro. Yeah, and gets out of Chapter 3. Yeah, 850 on her timer, which is just really solid. Alright, meanwhile, Flesh here, yeah, got through quad hyper room on the second try. Yeah, Flesh opting not to go for demo dash, and that's perfectly acceptable. Demo dash only saves about 10 seconds, and when you have a 32 like Maya does, you have to start thinking about going for time saves like that. But when you're Flesh, you're probably like looking at demo dash and saying, I can find 10 seconds to save elsewhere in the run. I'll get to that later. So yeah, really good stuff. Flesh is going to be in Oshiro now themselves. Yeah, Flesh making pretty good time through the Oshiro sequence, as Maya having a little bit of trouble getting started off here in Golden Ridge, and that's kind of one of these things that Golden Ridge can do to you. In a casual playthrough, it might be a little bit easier than Celeste Resort. You do get this win that's kind of messing you up, but it's fine. Nothing you're not really used to from this game. But like in the speedrun, Ridge can kind of feel like a level that you sort of sleep on, especially after like a solid resort. Like, once resort goes well, you're gonna start missing maybe like a minor little trick here or there, and might just start building up. But yeah, Maya recovering from that start here with the auto scroller skip as Flesh gets through the last Oshiro section, 10:26 on their timer. Really good auto-scroll skip from Maya. Yeah, just executing a hyper dash while that block is pushing her to get a little bit of extra momentum from the moving platform to skip having to ride the auto-scroller all the way. Yeah, Ridge can definitely have finicky tricks like those reverse hypers that Maya just pulled off to save like just a ton of time on that screen. And we'll see how Flesh acclimates to this level after their resort. Yeah, really good stuff in the early going for Flesh. No real mistakes. Oh, that was a quality save that Maya just pulled off there. Yeah, accidentally wall kicking off of the one crumbling platform, but able to kind of land on the other crumbling platform and just get back on her footing as soon as she could. So yeah, really good stuff. Now she's on the harsh wind section, and yeah, so fun fact about the wind, your dash actually counteracts the wind pushing you back. So like as long as you're just constantly dashing through these screens, that wind that's pushing you back isn't actually going to be doing anything to you. And yeah, we see Maya making very efficient use of her dash in these screens. Yeah, Maya dodging the snowballs well, as Flesh coming up on their own auto-scroller skip. Yep, same strat as Maya. Very nice. Alright, so Maya's coming out with Golden Ridge. Yeah, 12:03 on their timer. Flesh having a little bit of trouble setting up. Yeah, they go for a wave dash on this platform. It's a little bit easier to set up the wave dash because the inputs are just a little bit less precise than the reverse dashes. It is like a tad bit slower, but Flesh is kind of opting for the consistency of the wave dashes as opposed to like the kind of finicky reverse dashes. So yeah, really good stuff. And now they're just on this mostly unskippable auto-scroller. Yeah, there's a small optimization you can do at the end, but yeah, Flesh not even going for the hyper dash, just gonna be playing it safe. Yeah, respectable stuff. All right, so we get Flesh here going for a cycle skip in that room, gets it on that attempt, very nice. As Maya over here in Mirror Temple, which is definitely one of the cooler chapters. If you've been looking at Maya's screen, you've already seen like a couple really cool tricks. You can just take the vanilla wave through this room. Yes. Yeah, Mirror Temple, it's kind of divided into two halves. There's this first half where there's just like really cool movement tech, and then there's going to be a second half where you're just kind of like trying to navigate through these monsters we call Seekers, but we'll get to those in like a little bit here as Flesh coming up on these last couple screens of Golden Ridge. Alright, so that looked like a 1354 for Flesh exiting Golden Ridge. Meanwhile, Maya is introducing us to the Seekers, which are basically just going to be coming from anywhere on the screen to try to kill Madeline. So, like everything else in this game, the Seekers are not RNG. Their actions are kind of determined by how you move through the screen. So if you move through the screen the same way, the Seekers are going to respond the same way. So there's a lot of like really refined strats for a lot of these rooms coming up, where if you get like even a little bit off strat, if like your movement's just a little bit off, you're just going to be, you might have to be dealing with Seekers that doing things that you may not necessarily expect. So yeah, we'll see how Maya handles this. As Flesh coming up on this nice wave dash off the dash platform. Yeah, good stuff. So you just trip through a couple rooms here. Pretty significant time save, and you know, fairly solid setup. Okay, so Flesh is going for a strat where, ooh, misses the eat. Yeah, Yeah, they were trying to get enough momentum off the dash platform when they were having a little bit of trouble recovering. Yeah, they're trying to get enough momentum off the dash platform to just send themselves flying through the rest of the screen, and then trying to get a corner boost off of the ending platform of that screen to just fly into the next screen. But unfortunately, kind of missed something in that screen, but still pretty solid attempt at it. Right, meanwhile, Maya coming up on one of the more notable tricks in this run, third skip. It saves about 90 seconds, but it's fairly simple to execute. Just a reverse dash jump over some spikes. Yeah, Maya just tearing through Unraveling and Search, but coming up here on Escape, which is definitely a higher learning curve for some people. Yeah, so Flesh and Secret tutorial, and we'll kind of be monitoring how he handles this as Maya here with Theo escort mission. So Theo is a friend, he's in a crystal, and we have to be throwing him all across these screens. So you can't actually dash while you're holding Theo, so what runners will do to move fast is they will throw you to hyper dash and then catch him in mid-air to kind of retain their momentum as they traverse these screens. Yeah, Maya doing very solidly in these first few escape screens. Maya just barely got out of the way of that Seeker before the end of the screen. Yeah, both runners executing very nicely. Flesh coming up again on this ooh, yeah, they didn't quite knock the Seeker into that key coin, but yeah, no matter, they were able to just duck down and get it, very minor. Ooh, Maya, a little bit off cycle in this room. Yeah, we get these pulsating waves from the eyeball thing at the end of the screen, and if you dash when they hit you, they don't really do anything to you, but yeah, if you kind of get off cycle, it's kind of hard to time that out. Flesh here. Okay, doesn't look like they're quite where they want to be on this screen. Yeah, having a little bit of trouble climbing the wall. Okay, they have to dance around the Seeker. This is very important that they don't die at this point. They've invested a lot of time. Okay, Flesh is good. We're good. Yeah, that long screen on Unraveling can be kind of a killer, and you may be seeing some nerves on Flesh here, just taking a minor death. But just maybe they just can't believe that they got out of that. I can't believe they got out of that. That was really commendable effort right there. Alright, Flesh nails her skip on the second try as Maya is now traversing through Reflection. In Reflection, Chapter 6 of this game, now we're starting the end game. It's the second longest chapter, and it introduces these feathers, which you have to navigate through these spike mazes. And feathers kind of change how you control the game. Instead of the 8-way movement that Madeline usually has, she theoretically has full analog movement, but I believe Maya plays with keyboard, so she's not able to get full access to the feathers range of movement. Ooh, Flesh on the escape section. Yeah, this can definitely be a hard thing to get used to, because not only do you have to be throwing Theo and that just acclimating to these really technical controls that you have to do, but you also have to deal with Seekers. And again, if you're off strat on any of these screens, these Seekers are just not going to behave the way you expect them, and you'll just get eaten, and there's nothing you can really do about that at that point. Yeah, Flesh doing very well so far. Yeah, we're coming from that death nicely as Maya's navigating the spike mazes. Yeah, pretty well so far, it looks like. Alright, looked like Maya took a short death trying to sneak under the spikes off the top of the Kevin block. makes it through. Flesh is out of Mirror Temple with a 1935 on their timer. Alright, yeah, it looks like both runners have been doing very well so far. Yeah, Maya opting not to take the full shortcut. Ooh. And to their credit. Typically in this game, you're supposed to be going through a long kind of mess of bumpers and spikes, but the devs did put in a shortcut for us, but it's very difficult to navigate that full shortcut, and if you take a death like at the end like Maya did, and you didn't go for any of the safety checkpoints, you just spawn all the way at the top of the screen, so very good awareness on Maya's part. Ooh, barely misses the full battle and boost. Yeah, you can kind of see on the previous screen, they were trying to... They did a hyper dash and then a bunny hop off the Kevin block, and they were hoping to just like get enough speed to just take them through the full corridor at just like... And just like, you know, wind up hitting battle line without having to do like any extra inputs or movements, but unfortunately just kind of hit the wall, but now they're just like on the battle line fight here, and battle line fight is one of the cooler, more iconic parts of the run. It gets a really... You know, it's just like a really well-designed boss fight. Might have a little depth for Flesh there. Yeah, cool soundtrack, and you're actually using platforming mechanics to like navigate this fight, which is just like a really cool concept for a level. In the speedrun, it's you kind of know like what to expect from Battleline. Like she'll always, you know, fire a laser on some of these screens. You know, some screens she'll start off firing orbs, and you kind of know how to like dodge those orbs, like, you know, right there. So basically, like, you just got to be holding your nerve, and you also have to be making sure that you're getting to the ground as fast as possible to kind of continue getting movement techniques together. And there are definitely some screens where you want to have momentum, like the screen that Maya's going to be coming up on with these two bumpers. The screen, if you're off strat, is just maybe the dumbest screen in the game, but yeah, again, like, because Maya had momentum when she entered that screen, was able to make really short work of that. Meanwhile, Flesh, navigating reflection as well, not too far off of Maya's pace so far, which is definitely what you want to see out of Flesh. Yeah, keeping a very respectable distance right now. Maya, rough death at the end of this screen. Yeah, I was trying to dash over that like last little spike jet, but unfortunately just kind of slipped aside. Yeah, makes it through on the second attempt here. Flesh. Yeah, also not opting for the full shortcut. Wait, actually they are. Okay, yeah. Alright, nicely done, Flesh. Yeah, I thought they were grabbing a checkpoint at some point there for some reason, but no, Flesh went for the whole thing, and yeah, that's a very commendable effort. Alright, so Maya has now been equipped with a double dash and is just using that to navigate the screen. That's kind of telling you, hey, you have these large vertical gaps, why not use that double dash that you just acquired? And we'll be seeing that on full display in Summit as Flesh, yeah, getting into the thick of their own battle line fight. Alright, so Maya's starting here in the Summit, where now that we have the double dash, which makes sense in the context of the plot, we're going to be revisiting all the previous sections of the mountain, and the level design is just like twisted to accommodate for this new ability. Yeah, you can see like this very long screen with absolutely no floor. Yeah, Summit is going to be the longest chapter of the game, and it's also the most difficult because like now that you have double dashes, now you have to be using them super efficiently to get through these screens quickly. Yeah, Summit is like really a point where a great runner can separate themselves from a good runner, and Maya made great work of that opening section. Now here in 500 meter, it doesn't get the wall bounce off of the zipper block. Yeah, makes it through. Quick little thing there, but yeah, no matter. We're just gonna pick ourselves up. And now for the first time, we're actually using a zipper block to gain momentum. Hey, look at that. Yeah, these zipper blocks are ostensibly in Chapter 1, but in the, Chapter 1 speedrun, you're barely gonna notice their use because, like, we're basically just creating momentum all on our own. Alright, so Mai's coming out here of 500 meter as Flesh is entering the second phase of the battle line fight, which encompasses basically the last third of the fight, where now we have platforms that move during these sections as opposed to like after battle line hits. Yeah, Flesh knows exactly where these platforms are going to be when they execute their dashes, and yeah, making great use of that knowledge so far. Alright, so Flesh coming up here on the last screen of the battle line fight, which is also the longest screen, and yeah, because of the feather, you definitely don't want to die here because yeah, any time loss here is going to be pretty significant, but no worry for Flesh. They are out of there, and they're soon to be joining Maya in Summit, but Maya has already cleared out a significant portion of the Summit, heading up to 1500 meter, which is not friendly. It's not nice. It's not a nice section. You get a lot of long rooms with more tight dust bunny cycles. Yeah, that second room is just such a pain. This room coming up for Maya is also going to be a pain. Yeah, just like an absurdly long room. Yeah, Maya opting to wait out that cycle just to make sure that she's safe, that all the time that she invested in the room so far doesn't go to waste. Very smart. Alright, yeah, makes it out of the gauntlet-y portions of 1500. Yeah, the next few screens are certainly not gamies, but yeah, you're always relieved when you exit like the few long rooms in this chapter or in this section without any scars. Alright, meanwhile Flesh starting to summit themselves, outfitted with their double dash. Yeah, nice work in that room. That room can definitely get a little nerve-wracking the longer you spend in it, but yeah, Flesh is very well practiced at this game. No issues with that. Meanwhile, we get Maya undefined on the left side of the screen. Yeah, taking the way that we kind of grabs just as a matter of course, like going to the screen with burying it is a little bit faster than taking the kind of quote-unquote intended way through the chapter or through the section where it's just like a bunch of slow moving platforms and spikes. Also gets the auto scroll skip, very well done. Ooh, Flesh takes a minor death, going for a cycle skip to close out 500 meter, and yeah, you can definitely see that this cycle skip is very tough to kind of pull off. Yeah, they're looking for a wall bounce off that platform. Yeah, there we go, gets it on that attempt. Yeah, both runners have been enjoying like pretty good runs for their skill level so far. It's just that Maya's just been like a little bit more consistent at what they do. And that's kind of been the difference here. Yeah, Maya here in 2500, which is all the movement of Mirror Temple with none of the Seekers, which is kind of makes it my favorite part of the run. We're having a little bit of trouble setting up the key skip here, where we're not actually skipping a key, we're just skipping the red bubble that gets us a key. Okay, get it on that attempt. Yeah, those like wall jumps are very tight to actually get that skip, and yeah, just really solid effort to get it. Meanwhile, we get Flesh here on 500 meter, seeing the dream blocks for the last time. Well, not the last time, we are going to have another race after this. But the last time in this run, which is always like a little bittersweet because dream blocks are fun. Alright, Maya. Going for door skip, and gets it. And door skip also somewhat inaccurately named because you're not actually skipping doors when you do door skip, you're skipping the switches, but Maya opting not to skip the switches, going for the more consistent strat, and yeah, and paying off for her. So she's going to be heading into 3000 meter now, which is going to be the last part of the run. It's going to be the first like section of original content rather than remix content in Summit, and yeah, this is going to be the final uphill climb, and we're going to be seeing wind again, but this time it's going to be forcing us downward. Yeah, so downdraft is going to be very execution heavy. You're just constantly hitting buttons to counteract the effects of the gravity forcing you down. It can definitely be a little bit intense, but Maya making very good work of it. So, yeah, minor little hiccup there, but yeah, overall pretty good. Ooh, Flash having a little bit of issue with this last room in 1500. And again, this is like another room where you kind of know like what you're doing with an entrance cycle, but like if you take it down, or like if you ever get off strat, you're just like, Bo, what do these Dust Bunnies do again? And yeah, it's kind of hard to like predict how they move if you don't already know how they're gonna move. But yeah, getting through it on second attempt also very nice. And yeah, so Flash coming up here on this room with the strawberry, collect that strawberry, saves a little bit of time. Alright, so both runners kind of dealing with their own different kinds of winds right now. Flesh with the traditional horizontal wind, Maya with the vertical wind. And in updraft here, the gravity's kind of making her a little bit floaty, so this is going to be like one of the slower, more nerve-wracking sections of the run, but yeah, Maya didn't look to be having any major issues with it so far. Yeah, Flesh with the auto-scroll skip, very nice. Alright, so as Flesh is closing out the last couple sections of the summit, Maya is here on the last, gonna be 3 flags of summit. Yeah, and there's no real gimmicks. I mean, feathers are kind of a gimmick, or they're mechanic. They're certainly mechanic. Ooh, okay. Oh man, that's gonna be pretty great. Yeah, I was able to like just barely nick that dash crystal, but unfortunately just didn't quite have enough save to get past that like last little spike pit, whatever that's called. Yeah, No Matter gets it on second attempt on flag 1 now, and this is ending up really close to her PB. Yeah, Maya Undefined has taken game 1 of this best of 3 series with Flesh with a 32-40, so yeah, get some GG's in for Maya. That was a really outstanding run. Oh, Flesh having a little bit of trouble with this needle thread. Okay, gets on that attempt. Flesh also opting for door skip skip. Ooh. Yeah, kind of near the corner on that attempt, but yeah, gets through it on that second try. Alright, so Flesh came into the race today with a 36:15 PB, so assuming they can have a really good 3,000 meter, this is going to be pretty close to their personal best. So, yeah, we'll just have to cheer them on through this final mountain climb here. Yeah, collecting these checkpoint flags because, yeah, through the rest of the game, checkpoints are kind of marked by screen transitions, but at this point in the game, it's kind of like now we get these checkpoint flags as opposed to the screen transitions. So, you know, runners even have the option of skipping checkpoint flags if they feel that the time save is worth it. But Flesh, I think, has collected most of the flags so far. Oh man, playing with the side of those spike hitboxes right there, but yeah, makes it up just fine. Yeah, and where? Ooh. Yeah, just kind of looked like they lost focus just a little bit at the end of the flag, and or no, they were going for a wall jump there, but like didn't quite time it out. Yeah, making it through. Yeah, we can definitely see that updraft is significantly slower than the downdraft counterpart. Yeah, because this game really likes to make you float in this section, especially on flag 13 here. Okay, we make it out of flag 13, that's what counts. They're just kind of dangling in the air for forever, collecting all those key coins, hoping you make the very narrow and very mean gap at the end. Flesh makes it through here on flag 11. Really nice, collects flag 10, should be moving on to flag 9 here very shortly. Alright, Flesh here, on flag 4. Just, yeah, easy stuff. Not easy stuff, I mean this game is obviously very hard, but like, this is practice stuff right here. Like, if you play this game, you probably played through some of, like, you know, or if you speedrun this game rather, you probably played through some of, like, you know, hundreds of times, and you kind of know these last 5 flags very well, so. Yeah, Flesh just climbing the final flag now, about to reach the summit, about to reach that final flag, and yeah, that's going to be within a minute PB, and yeah, anytime you can get that close to your PB like these runners just did, that's a very commendable effort. So yeah, GG for Flesh. Yeah, really solid race, and yeah, we'll see what they bring to game 2. Coming up probably after a quick break here. Alright. So we are back and beginning game 2 underway here very shortly. Maya with another fancy file name and one that actually looks like words almost. We get 10 win. Yeah, 10 win JK NPF, and I like 10 win JK because if this were a best of 19 series, I don't know how long I would last through that, but yeah, best of 3, that's perfectly fine. Or if it's not 10 win, then at least it looks enough like it that I'm willing to accept it. Meanwhile, on the right side, we are seeing the classic rival for 10 win, Z45 Gwokje. Yeah, in case you missed game one or are just tuning in, welcome into the Celeste Any Tournament. We have Maya Undefined versus Flesh177. In game one, both runners, both of the times, very close to their PBs. Maya within 10 seconds, Flesh within a minute. So, yeah, we're gonna be settling in for a very hot game two. Obviously, these runners were just getting warmed up, and these are going to be the PBs that we've waited for in this race coming up here. All right, so both runners getting the countdown, so we should be underway very shortly here. Yeah, so Maya's going to be the first one into prologue in this race, and yep, she's opting for the bunny hop strategy to save a second. Flesh going to be doing the same thing. Neither runner opting to walk defiantly across these prologue screens in an attempt to inform the Celeste gods that they don't need these frames. They will be able to handle the rest of the game just fine, but nope. You're doing the bunny. Oh, Flesh with the... So one fun thing about this game is that the button for cutscene skip only works as cutscene skip when you enter an actual cutscene. Activated the cutscene, when you try to skip a cutscene, you hit the retry button, which puts you all the way at the start of the screen. So that kind of got Flesh just trying to skip the cutscene a little bit early, getting greedy with those frames, but yeah, again, that's a very minor time loss, and prologue death happens to everyone. It's a very relatable death that just happened. Alright, so back in Forsaken City to reclimb this mountain. Yeah, this is just a very short and sweet chapter. And again, just like a lot of tech is on display, and you're even going to see some cool strats to kind of preserve the momentum. Flesh again having a little bit of trouble setting up this reverse hyper dash to float over the spike island. But yeah, and then Flesh just hyper dashes in the next screen, and then just does a quick little bunny hop to just get momentum and just get through that opening portion of the screen just a little bit faster. Ooh, Maya taking a very... Yeah, it didn't look like they got their dash back trying to sneak under that zipper block. Yeah, very minor, and it looked like they were able to recover, so yeah, very nice. Flesh also gets that. Flesh was able to get that on first try. Okay, so Flesh doesn't have the... Oh, wasn't able to get the backup, so... Yeah, ideally, yeah, so like this. You're trying to retain a hyper dash by kind of delaying your jump input just a little bit, but Flesh wasn't able to... Had to, use that dash in a different place to try to save that attempted spike jump, so the backup strat there is to go for 2 spike jumps, which actually aren't jumps off spikes, they're kind of jumps off the part of the spike hitbox that is a wall. But unfortunately, Flesh, that's a very hard thing to pull off twice in a row, especially since you don't really have any way to set up the second one. So, yeah, Flesh getting through that, getting through the level. Very nice effort on both ends so far. On Maya, again, having trouble, like, kind of sneaking under that one floating pillar. And definitely interesting to kind of see some of the same stuff kind of, like, repeat itself in the second race here. Yeah, because I think Flesh also had issue with the spike jump screen in the first go at City, and Maya also had trouble with the Happy Dash in that screen in their first attempt at the ult site, but yeah, the patterns repeat themselves. Hopefully both of them just enjoy a very solid ult side battle line chase sequence. So it looked like Maya had a much better time on the last battle line screen than in the first attempt. Meanwhile, Flesh, a few hiccups here and there in the early goings of ult side, but yeah, this is... Oh, misses the key coin again, so yeah, has to wait out the battle lines again, and yeah, playing it safe. Yeah, makes it through, but just minor little mistakes like that, and Maya's kind of opened up another lead here in the early goings of the game. Yeah, it looked like really good stuff in the Awake section for Maya. Flesh here, same section. Yeah, it looked like that was much improved over their attempt from the last run. Yeah, Wake is kind of about like knowing where your mark is and just like being able to hit the inputs consistently enough to hit that mark again. So yeah, really good effort from Flesh. They're going to be joining Maya here in Celestial Resort. Yeah, so it looked like Flesh took a very quick death in that screen, trying to kind of sneak under that loading Death Bunny at the top of the screen, but death cycle for that room is pretty easy, so yeah, I was able to navigate it just fine. Yeah, but a death like that can really eat away at your confidence in the early goings of Resort, because you may start to think, okay, if I'm going to die to something like that, what's going to happen to me like in Oshir or in the elevator shaft, but just got to put that behind you. It looks like Flesh has been doing, getting through these next few screens really neatly. As Maya's going to begin cleaning up the huge mess again. A little stumble about midway through that screen, but yeah, skips the cutscene and going to be traversing the maze and traversing the mess again. Yeah, just really confident. Ooh. Yeah, Flesh just barely nicking to the top of that secret just a little bit late on that screen, but able to make it through. But I'm having a little bit of trouble setting up the spike jump here. Okay, there we go, gets it on that attempt, but yeah, again, kind of find themselves just a section behind Maya. I think it's a little bit closer than the first race, but Yeah, definitely considerable ground to make up here in the early goings. Alright, so Maya grabs key. She's going to be going through the elevator shaft section here. And this is the screen that Maya's on right now. That's the only actual elevator shaft that's in elevator shaft. The checkpoint's just named that because, I don't know, they named it after the first screen they saw. Yeah, so in the first race, Maya was actually able to pull out the first try demo dash in this chapter. There are other demo dashes, and I'm really looking forward to the next task for this game that comes out because that's going to be just an insane watch. It's going to be something along the lines of this 7C task that was released shortly after Demo Dash was found. Yeah, so Maya's going for this setup here where she's just grabbing it at a very precise point, like using visual cues in the background of this particular screen to just kind of set it up. And yeah, fourth try. So I think that's like negligible compared to like actually doing the vanilla way where that Flesh is probably going to be showing off again, where you kind of go through the quad hyperdash room. But again, still a very cool thing to show off in a race setting like this. To Maya here in the Oshiro chase sequence. It's good Flesh. Yeah, dipping down and yeah, gonna be going for quad hyper room again. Ooh, misses the first attempt, but yeah, very clean on the second attempt. And yeah, I kind of missed the quad hyper room in some people's runs. Like quad hyper room just looks cool and it's kind of iconic. It's called the quad hyper room, but time save is time save. I respect that. Maya playing it safe again on this last Oshiro screen, and yeah, it pays off. Yeah, so Maya's out of there. 9:07 on their timer, a little bit behind the pace that she set in the first run, but still enough to kind of keep this lead that she's built over Flesh, who's having a little bit of trouble getting set up on the Oshiro screen here. Right, barely avoids Calamity. And able to get through on the third screen. Alright, yeah, goes for the wall up on that screen just to ensure that they have enough height coming down from the key coin on top of the screen there to avoid Oshiro. Yeah, very nice little safety strat there. Alright, so Maya's starting here on bridge as Flesh is going to be navigating this last Oshiro screen. Oh, man. That's the most unfortunate Oshiro kill. Yeah, it gets the bop on Oshiro, which typically neutralizes him, but Oshiro's the one that gets the last lap because that bop just kind of launched Flesh into some spikes, and ooh, Flesh just kind of feeling the after effects of that death. It looks like just taking another death, and yeah, this screen is just it's gonna be a nightmare if it kind of gets under your skin. Yeah, just really tough to navigate, but Flesh gets through on that attempt, and yeah, 10:36 is pretty solid so far. Yeah, they're going to be joining Maya over here in Golden Ridge. And again, Maya executing those reverse dashes quite nicely. Yeah, both runners had a little bit of woes over in Chapter 3, Maya with Demo Dash, Flesh with the last Oshiro screen. They seem to be putting them behind them, just kind kind of putting the mistakes in the past and saying, okay, you know, it's still the start of the run. I still have a lot of this game left to play. You know, there's still reflection and summit where things can happen. Can't really dwell on too much on mistakes and resort. And yeah, that mindset seems to be paying off as Flesh gets that. And a little auto-scroll skip coming over on the larger auto-scroll skip in a couple seconds here as Maya here in the harsh wind section. Yeah, going to be dealing with snowballs in the section Maya is. And, you know, snowballs, if you didn't notice in the first run, they will come in from the right side of the screen, and like Oshiro, they track your movements, but unlike Oshiro, they don't actually signal when they're going to be coming in, they just kind of appear. But again, if you're moving the same way through these screens, you know where those snowballs are going to be, and like you saw on Maya's screen just now, she just jumps on that snowball because the snowball is going to appear there. She just wills it to be there, and yeah, it's a very satisfying strat. Alright, so Maya has completed Golden Ridge. 1 death in Ridge, that is fairly outstanding. Yeah, especially because in the first race, I kind of remember her having a little bit of issues with the opening screens of Ridge, but yeah, 1 death is just real cool, especially like when you're trying to go fast. Yeah, now Maya here in Mirror Temple as Flesh is navigating the last few screens of Golden Ridge. Yeah, just barely misses that crumbling platform, and yeah, a little bit of issues on the first couple screens of Harsh Wind, but you know, again, like as long as you're keeping your deaths quick, it's kind of fine. Like it's like this game, like you kind of had to accept that you are going to die a lot in this game. Like I think, you know, both runners had, you know, double-digit deaths in their last run, but you know, you just got to be able to know how to like keep your deaths to a minimum and know not to get too caught up over tiny mistakes. Like this is a game about like, keeping your composure, keeping your rhythm. So Flesh finishes up Golden Ridge as Maya's going to be introducing us to the Seekers in case we forgot how to do them. Looks like a 14 something on their timer as they exit Ridge. Yeah, 14:07 I think they had. Alright, so Maya has wrapped up the hallway of 1,000 cutscene skips. And again, this game doesn't really test your ability, you know, with the in-game timer. It doesn't really test your ability to like go through the, you know, chapter transition menu, but menuing is kind of a part of this run, just because like there's just a few cutscenes that you have to skip along the way. Yeah, now we get Maya flying through Unraveling here. A little bit of stumble on that last screen, but the most important thing. Ooh, and doesn't quite hit the sticker on this screen, so yeah, they're gonna have to go down to both to letting the Seeker hit that key coin for her. Yeah, meanwhile, Flesh. Okay, so that's a Yee. He got the momentum off the dash platform, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the corner boost. Corner boost being where, like, if you do a grab jump off a corner in a very tight window, you're able to just fly over that corner with your previous momentum. And you're seeing, and you know, when you pay attention to like a high level runner running this game, you're going to be seeing them go for corner boosts like just all over the place. And that can kind of explain, like, you know, why someone has like a better time, like just tiny little optimizations that you may not necessarily be like looking for in a run like this. Ooh, Maya. Yeah, nailed turret skip, but unfortunately was like just a little bit beyond that dash platform. So when they tried to move that dash platform, she didn't land on the platform, so just kind of like push her to doom. Again, this game's all about how you recover. Yeah, she's going to be into Theo, as Flesh is going to be navigating their own Hall of 1,000 cutscene skips. Maya barely misses that jump at the end. Okay, and yeah, so the screen may go a little bit south for her. Okay, she opted to neutralize the Seeker. Oh, man. Yeah, she left Theo behind, so that screen was just like all improv from her, and unfortunately the Seeker did not yes-and at the end with her, but yeah, gets it on the third attempt there, and yeah, just recovering nicely, regaining that momentum. And speaking of momentum, hey, dash platform. Ooh, clips the corner, but yeah, still. Yeah, really solid recovery after one room kind of went a little bit awry for her. Yeah, meanwhile, Flesh. Looks like they go for a different strat than what people might normally be accustomed to in this room, and yeah, it seems to be paying off, yeah. Yeah, I didn't have to do the same weird, kind of nervy dance that, or with the Seeker that kind of like gave me the chills in the last run, and yeah, very safe, very clean. Alright, so we get Maya hitting the eyeball at 1726, gonna be moving on to Reflection. Flesh, first try search skip, very nice, let's go, dude. Alright, so we get Maya Undefined, showing us feathers. And feathers, you know, not a gimmick, and they're not a mechanic, as I suggested in the last race. They are a deeply meaningful metaphor. Beautiful, hard to control metaphors. Alright, so Maya's going to be navigating all these spikes as Flesh... Ooh, Flesh leaves Theo behind. Oh no! Yeah, didn't grab Theo after the dash, so the pillar at the end didn't open up for them, and they just ran into it, and they just had to really hope that the Seeker just kind of like didn't notice, but the Seeker noticed, and it was sad. Yeah, they're moving on. Yeah, nailing their strat for this room. You know, we're going to get Maya here using some neutral wall jumps to skip having to ride a feather, and yeah, that's a pretty nifty trick. Oh, Flesh. Last screen of escape. Yeah, again, leaving Theo behind. Oh, yeah, and yeah, Theo on the crumbling platform and just like fell to the floor, and then next screen they just threw Theo where they weren't expecting to throw Theo, and they said, nah, I'm gonna retry. I don't want to deal with this right now. Yeah, nailed it more or less the stratted out way in that screen, and just has to navigate this last corridor. Gets out of 19. And Maya still making their way through Reflection. This is like a long, grueling level, and it kind of looked like she had trouble like sneaking under the Kevin block again. And again, it's like really interesting to like kind of see runners kind of run things back to back, because you can kind of see like what kind of crops up. You can kind of like start to notice like patterns, you know, even though you only have a sample size of 2 of like what kind of gives them trouble. And it's like really interesting to kind of see like, you know, what, you know, runners kind of excel at and what runners might like not quite excel at. Yeah, really interesting stuff to contemplate from both runners. Flesh also, ooh, oh man, Yeah, Flesh was trying to hit the side of this crush block, aka Kevin blocks, for the delightful noise that they make. Yeah, they were trying to hit it on the side instead of hit it from the bottom, and just no way to recover. And Maya nails the swimming section. And now they're just crouching and wait for the battle line boost. Oh man, almost had it, but unfortunately they just like didn't quite have enough momentum, and or maybe they missed the cutscene skip and they just dove into the spikes. But we got most of the momentum, and yeah, they still got a lot of speed, and it's still very cool to see them just like getting so far into the screen in the first place. And yeah, just now onto the battle line fight, which is just, you know, pure execution. I mean, I guess the entire run is pure execution, given that there's, you know, no RNG. This is like very much like a game that like purely tests your skill, and that can kind of get under a lot of runners' skin, just because like, you know, you have no one but yourself to blame if a run goes wrong. Like, you can kind of blame, you know, corners for being weird here or there, but for the most part it's kind of on you, so it can kind of be a grind on the old psyche, but like when you do actually get that PB, it just feels really rewarding. And yeah, I think both runners just know how skilled they are. They're very confident in their ability to this game, they're very confident in their strats, they're very confident in their ability to execute, and yeah, it's just been really great stuff all race long from both runners. Yeah, we get Flesh here on the right side of the screen, navigating all these bumpers, and bumpers are definitely super finicky. Like, if you're even like a pixel off with the way you hit them, they're going to be launching you somewhere that you don't necessarily expect. Especially on this screen here. This bumper cycle on this screen can be very difficult to recover from if you miss it, but Flesh, no issues whatsoever. Alright, so Maya here in the last phase of battle line as Flesh. Again, navigating that ravine shortcut really well. And Flesh in the lone swimming section in this platformer, the merciful only swimming section. Yeah. I don't think I saw Flesh go for. Ooh, Flesh almost missed that, but yeah, they had just enough momentum that they were able to just kind of dash through the wall and wall climb up, so it looked like they were going for battle line boost, just unfortunately didn't quite time it enough. Yeah, Maya has finished out the battle line fight, now outfitted with a double dash, and what is definitely not intended to be promotion for upcoming tournaments on the twitch.tv/speedrun channel. Yeah, they will be moving back into the summit. Yeah, there's some more really good stuff from these runners. Maya getting a little bit caught up on the first screen to 0 meters, but yeah, doing very well after that, nailing everything else in 0 meters. Yes, Flesh looks like they're on the last screen of the first phase of battle line. Maya clipping the spring. That's not like a major thing. That's more of like something that's just gonna like be a minor annoyance. Like you kind of dash in the previous screen in such a way that like you land like kind of between those springs and the next from that screen, so that you can just like keep your the momentum that you want to have. But yeah, again, that's just like a minor optimization that we're going for. Speaking of minor optimizations, hey, you can hyperdash out of dream blocks, and it looks like Maya is going for some of these dream hypers right now. Yeah, and again, you don't really like see the dream hyperdashes in the single dash version of Chapter 1, simply because like you really don't have any way to recover from them if you miss them. But yeah, with that double dash, you do have like a little. Alright, Maya opting not to go for all the dream hypers. It looked like only looked like maybe that one. Yeah, so very good stuff, very fast stuff, and yeah, just moving on to 1500 meters as Flesh. Gonna be moving on into Summit proper. So 3 sections behind at this point. Again, like a little bit of ground to make up, but yeah, still, this is gonna be a really solid effort. Like getting into the screen at 26:14 for them is just, yeah, again, it's not gonna be too far off from their own PB. So and again, Maya taking a very cautious approach at the end of the screen, just waiting out the cycle. Ooh, minor death, but she gets to show off the best death cycle in the game, where you just hold right and then just do a couple dashes. It doesn't look like she got all 3 of the ultras, but more importantly, did not die in the triple ultra screen. Yeah, really nice 1500 on the whole Flesh, making their way now through 1000. If I had a quicker wit, I would have said making my way downtown, because technically Forsaken City is a town, but here we are. Nothing we can do about it now, just have to move on, knowing that Flesh is clearly outdoing the commentary. Alright, so we get Maya here in 2000. Oh no! Oh, did the berry collect? Yo, the berry collected! Okay, well, I guess if Maya had to die so that the berry may live, that was a worthy sacrifice, but oh man. Yeah, dying in the last snowball room is definitely kind of brutal. Like, just have to go through it again. Like, death cycle is kind of weird for that room, but yeah, Maya at least collected the berry. That's the important thing. And gets the auto scroll skip in 2000 meters. Very well done. In Maya, so on this screen with the battle line alley oops, so battle line will throw you, and then you typically hover in the air for a little bit, but if you dash immediately after she throws you, you kind of cancel that hovering animation, and you're just able to kind of sneak under some spikes in that screen. So again, tiny optimizations, but good thing to look out for if you're kind of looking to get into this run. Because yeah, this run, there's really no like huge thing that saves time. It's just like 1,000 little time saving tricks that you can do here and there, and it's just really cool to see like what each runner goes for and like what they may opt to skip. Yeah, like that room that Maya just did with the 2 wave dashes, it's a very nice key skip there. Yeah, that double wave dash room is just, yeah, you'll see like a lot of different strats employed to like just move through that room as fast as possible. Ooh, am I having a little bit of trouble with the needle thread here, but yeah, it makes it on the third attempt. Yeah, that's going to be implied from the fact that we call it thread the needle. I don't know that that has an official name. I just call it needle thread, but yeah, you're trying to like fit yourself through this very narrow window, and you're also trying to retain a dash so that you can like actually like complete the trick. But it's very precise, but we nail it, and yeah, Maya's going to be getting back to 3,000 meter. Oh, and Flesh missing their dash at the end of the screen. Oh, again. Yeah, just a little bit early on the jump part of the hyper dash. Oh, okay. You know, we take those. That was very close to the death plane, it looked like, but we take those, you know. Just gotta move on. Just nail the auto scroller skip. Hey, look at that Flesh. Well done. Alright, so Maya, about halfway through downdraft. Yeah, making quick work of this game, or of this section of the game. Yeah, moving on to updraft, just like that, just very quick through that section. Oh, and even nailing the trick where, or even nailing like the strat there to kind of preserve both of their dashes through that screen rather than just kind of dangling and using one of those dashes just kind of like to jump over some spikes. So yeah, really cool stuff. Now here on flag 13. I just had to float, get all these key coins, make that fit. Very nice. And meanwhile, Flesh, we're having a little bit of trouble setting. I was able to get to the second one. Now they're going to be going for key skip here, I would expect. Alright, first try. Well done. I'm just a little bit fast going through that room of 2,500 as Maya is almost out of updraft, going to be moving on to the last 5 flags. Oh, and Flesh, remembering the difficulty they had in the first race with the needle thread, just opting to go for the more traditional method. So, yeah, really good awareness, really good thinking. Just, yeah, playing it a little bit safe coming up here at the end of the game. But meanwhile, on the left side of this screen, we get Maya having a little bit of difficulty with flag 3, but yeah, nothing that she couldn't get past eventually. Alright, Maya's going to be getting through flag 1. Yeah, just a few jumps over some spike pits, and Maya reaches the top with a 33-25. So Maya wins the game and wins the set of matches between her and Flesh. Yeah, get some GGs into chat. So Maya will be moving on to round 2 of the Celeste Any Tournament, where Psyched is waiting for her. So we're not going to be getting a post-game interview, so we won't get to determine, like, you know, what word she might be feeling as she prepares to face Psyched in the next round. I'm sure there's some word to describe that excitement. Ooh, nice save from Flesh on the long screen with all those dash crystals, but yeah, really nice effort from Maya. Really nice runs all throughout. Oh, Flesh, I don't think they meant to be getting that berry. Okay. Just playing with my heart a little bit. Yeah, I don't think they... I can't imagine that they ended up... that they wanted to end up there, but... yeah, able to just kind of wait it out, wait for those crumbling blocks to come back, and yeah, just moving on like nothing happened. That's what you gotta do in this game sometimes. Pretend it didn't happen. Pretend that no mistakes were made. Alright, Flesh on flag 13. Playing a little bit with those spikes, but yeah, able to make it through that last little fit there. And coming up on a minor little time save where it's just like a short little neutral hop over those spikes that's only really possible because of the decreased gravity in this level, or in this portion of the level. Yeah, really solid stuff through updraft so far, it looks like. Yeah, unfortunately this will be the end of their time in the first ever GSA Celeste Any Tournament, but hopefully they had a good time, and hopefully they can be proud of their performance. I'd certainly be proud of this performance, just because, like, yeah, their first run was within a minute of PB, and assuming that no weird Flag 1 shenanigans happen, this should be a similarly solid run. Like, a lot to kind of build on, a lot to just kind of, like, look back on and say, yeah, I can say that I did well in this, and hopefully next time, assuming that there is a next time, assuming there is a next tournament, I can do a little bit better. Yeah, very encouraging stuff as Flesh finishes out their run. Yeah, they're coming up on Flag 2 here, but Flag 2 is now really going to be an issue for them. Alright, here on Flag 1, yeah, this is going to be super close to their PB. Yeah, they came in here with the 36-15, so getting a 36-31 in a race, that's really solid effort. So yeah, get some GGs in for Flesh, or 36-32 I should say. Yeah, but still, GGs for Flesh. That was a very nice race that they put on. Yeah, it doesn't quite sound like either runner is going to be coming in for the post-race interview, so yeah, give me 1 second and we will go through what's coming up here on twitch.tv/speed. Because I believe we do have another race tonight, and if memory serves, that is going to be commentated by VTGH. Just have to pull that up here, just to remind myself who is running. I believe it is Cosmo and Chai Kitty. Yeah, Cosmo and Chai Kitty featuring commentary from TGH. So that's going to be a super fun race that y'all are going to want to stay tuned for. I believe that's coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern. But yeah, definitely make sure that you're staying tuned to twitch.tv/speedrun. And hey, if you have the means, definitely consider a subscription to this channel. Any subscription that you like, you can see on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, any cheer or sub or donation that you go to the tournament's prize pool winners, and that's going to be 1st through 4th place in this tournament. And Flesh in the chat thanking us for the tournament. So yeah, very nice sentiment. And just make sure you're following at least like twitch.tv/speedrun, and also the I think it's Speedrun SMO and Speedrun SM64 that are going to be having Odyssey and Mario 64 tournaments. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. So yeah, thank you again to Flesh177 and Maya Undefined for the races again. Flesh, good luck in your future endeavors. Maya, good luck in your races against Psych. I think that's going to be it. I have been Artie Walsh V. This has been the Celeste Any Tournament. Have great nights.